Hey y'all, happy Friday. Welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. Welcome. I just want to give a big thank you to every single subscriber, whether you've been here from the beginning, came in the middle, or are new here. Thank you so much for coming on over, kikiing with me, laughing with me, arguing with me, disagreeing with me respectfully. I just thank y'all seriously. Y'all, everybody has a limited amount of time, right? Or a set amount of time or just a time period in which they listen to the content creators that they choose of their choosing. So I never take it for granted when someone adds me to that list. So I just want to thank y'all so much, y'all. We are over at 6,000 subscribers and steadily growing. I'm so excited. So please, if you're watching now, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, do the things for your girl. All right. So y'all know I've been working, y'all. That's what I've been doing. Working. Listen, on the chain gang, y'all. But so I have a list. I keep a growing list of stuff that I want to talk to y'all about. And I was like, you know what? You going home, you get ready to take a break and you get ready to do a video because I miss y'all and I hope y'all miss me too. Now, I know there's a lot of things that I may talk about that you may have already heard about on other platforms. Well, I want y'all to hear it from me because I want to discuss it with y'all and get y'all's thoughts. Let me tell y'all have me screaming sometimes when I'm in them comments. Y'all don't even understand. I read them like a book, some of them, and I'm just laughing, geeky, and having a conversation back with y'all, and y'all don't even hear me. So I appreciate y'all for engaging with me. And if you don't agree, as long as you're respectful, I look at your side of things too. All right. So speaking of side of things, I'm just go ahead and say this. Ooh, for the last I don't know how many years, Gizelle Bryant has not been my favorite, or even in the top. How many housewives? Eight in the top eight housewife for me on Potomac. I started out in the beginning really liking her. Then somewhere along the line, it was just like, girl, no, not that's just me. Does she still have funny moments and funny things? Of course, absolutely, right. But I did take her for having a little bit of a little lion situation, right? Or as Ashley would call it, adding sauce. Seemed like she was always adding sauce to things, right? Now we find out that Gizelle was telling the truth about a couple things. All right, let's go back to last season's reunion when Giselle talked about Mia living in Atlanta. Now I didn't believe it. I thought, well, she probably is flying back and forth because her oldest son lives there. And what's his name? Ink lived there, right? So I thought, well, maybe she just saw her going back and forth on the plane. But then, or well, actually, Giselle said somebody told her. Because now I will say with Giselle, everything is somebody told her. But let me tell you, the last two things somebody told her, they told her right. Okay. I said, come on, Giselle. Come on, Jizzy. So we know that Mia's is now in Atlanta. Then at the reunion, Giselle came out and said Stacey from, the newest housewife on the Real Housewives of Potomac was going to be starting a cannabis line and told Wendy, like basically, I'm paraphrasing, but Wendy, she get ready to start a cannabis line. So remember that when it comes out, Stacey, oh, absolutely not. No. Oh, of course not. No, absolutely not. No, not me, not me. Girl, yes, you. Was like, now wait a minute, Stacey. So let's get into it. I was getting ready to I should have pulled up uh the scene, what exactly Stacey said, so we could hear, it as a reminder. But basically, I don't have to do that. Y'all know Stacey denied starting a cannabis line, point blank, and the period. Oh, I got it. All right. So let's listen to what she said at the reunion last year. I'm just going to play all the audio, but I'm not going to share because, oof, I don't even want to talk about what YouTube just did to me. But so let's get into it. Oh, child. All right, hold on. Gotta fix my sound. Y'all haven't recorded in so long, I forgot how to plug my mic up. But still I rise. Okay, here we go. Here we go. But still I rise, and I'll be all right. Oh my God. but still I rise. Oh, and I'll be all right. Cha, I thought that was from the reality check. Cha, I thought we had when Stacey denied starting the cannabis thing. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can get it real quick. I thought they had the whole clip. Look, that's what I get for not that's what I get for not listening to the whole clip. I thought I had it. Either way, child, we know she denied it, right? Well, guess what? Like I said, old Jizzy was right. This is according to Reality Blurb. And I actually know somebody that went to the launch of this. So somebody told me earlier this week that they were going to or last week, somebody told me, reached out, we were talking, and they told me last week that they were going. They haven't invited to this launch. So Stacey Rusch launches cannabis brand after denying Gizelle's claims at RHOP reunion as fans call her out and say Jizzy never lies. Now that right there, I said, now y'all take it too far. Jizzy was telling the truth for sure about this, about me, and probably other things. But to say the child never lies. But anyway, let's get into it. Stacey is following in the footsteps of Wendy Osefo's husband, Eddie Osefo, just like Gizelle Bryant suspected she would. Again, shout out to Gizelle. Just 3 months after Gizelle accused Stacey of being in the works on her own Happy Eddie line at the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 reunion, which Stacey denied, she took to her Instagram account to officially announce that she would be making history as the first African American woman to launch a cannabis brand in Virginia. Y'all, let's look at her announcement together. Ciao. Stacey. Let's get into it. Beautiful picture. She says, Happy Juneteenth. I'm so proud to celebrate the historical legacy of this day and also make history as the first African American woman to launch a cannabis brand in Virginia. Hashtag God is good. Hashtag still I rise. Uh, Jushi Holdings, I guess that's how you say it, is partnering with entrepreneur, philanthropist, and Real Housewives of Potomac star Stacey Rusch on a new cannabis-infused wellness brand. Now, I'm not sure how to say it. Is it Shayo or Shayo? Y'all can let me know. Shayo, a Nigerian term meaning to be joyous and happy, blends elevated ingredients with a lifestyle-forward ethos to deliver a one-of-a-kind edible experience to Virginia's medical cannabis market, baby. Is Stacey Nigerian? And I'm not saying that she has to be. I just think it is ironic. No, I'm not even going to say ironic. Here we have Happy Eddie, Nigerian man, has his cannabis line. Gizelle rightly says Stacey is going to start doing her own. Stacey, no, 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 deny, deny, deny. Only not to not only come out and be doing it, but to partner with a wellness brand, Shia. I'm assuming they're Nigerians, and they may not be, but since Shayo is a Nigerian term. Girl, if you child, look at her smile, y'all. Look at her just smiling. Baby. Stacey is something else. Like she really is. And listen, not that Eddie Corners is the only one that could start the cannabis line. And maybe she didn't want to say anything because she wasn't sure how it was going to go. But I do feel like she could have been like, I'm in talks, yes, but I'm not sure how it's going to go. So, or just I'm in talks. I don't know. What do y'all think? Because y'all may say, we talk about moving in silence with things, right? So for it to not be ruined, but evidently it wasn't too silent. Whoever is in her group or whoever, if she only told a certain amount of people, somebody leaked it for Gizelle to know. So I do feel like if she's saying her and Wendy are friends, even though we know they use the term friends and sisterhood. Oh my gosh, if I never hear housewives say sisterhood, it'll be too soon. But they use those terms loosely, right? But we know that she considered Wendy a friend, even though they got kind of like into a back and forth. And she couldn't have just said, I'm thinking about it, or I'm taking meetings, or it's something I've always been interested in doing. Child, no, no, no. straight up said no. After Stacey shared the post, she was, of course, met with plenty of congratulatory messages. However, she was also met with plenty of shady comments from RHOP viewers who recalled her reunion denials. Stacey, I thought you said at the reunion Gizelle was lying. OMG. Others noted Gizelle wasn't lying and never lies. Somebody said, like, girl, I'm so confused. Girl, and then somebody said, okay, congratulations, but how can we believe you now when at the reunion, when Gizelle brought this up, you had no idea what she was talking about? Wendy said, I would hope you would tell me about this. And you said, no, you're not starting a cannabis line. But now here we are, and you are in caps starting or buying into or promoting a cannabis line. Mm-hmm. Wendy said, I hope you would tell me. She said, no, I'm not starting a cannabis line. So, but let's play with words here. It could, she may end up saying, oh, no, well, they said I was starting a cannabis line and I'm not starting one. Like this other person just said, I'm the face of one. Or I've just partnered with a company that was already in existence down there. So technically, I'm not starting one because I could see Stacey trying to play that too. I knew Stacey was something, like I said, after I met her at Kempire's live show, which will be back in DC, um, his Villain Era tour on August 22nd at Union Stage. So make sure you get your tickets. I will be there again. It's going to be a good time. But I knew Stacey wasn't this, oh my gosh. And in my dance moves, caught you guys off guard. I know you love my dance moves. I knew Stacey was not that, honey. And Stacey don't like to answer a question straight on. Okay? She most definitely does not. I told y'all when Kempire asked her if she leaked her joint, he straight up asked her, shout out to Kempire. He straight up asked her, like, basically, did you leak your own announcement to the show? And she says, from the background, I'm paraphrasing, but from the background, she had TV, this, that, and the third. Basically, knowing how it's done. Do you think I would really do that? So I turned around and said, but you would be the person that would know how to do it. Yeah, you just boasting about what your background is. And my husband Corey said, "Did you see the way she looked at you?" Like, because we were sitting right next to each other. I said, "That Stacey is something else. That Stacey is something else." So I guess that will be probably a bone of contention with her and Wendy this year. So I guess we shall see. But y'all let me know. Do you think that Stacey had an obligation, or maybe not even an obligation? Well, no, some of y'all may say, yes, Stacey had an obligation. Some may say not an obligation, but she was asked on the spot and she should have told her. And then some of y'all may say, look, we move in silence over here. And she just found out when everybody else found out. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Moving on, let's get into Phaedra having an interview saying something and nothing.
Well, I expected her to be
Hold on, y'all. Child, what am I doing?
there. She picked up her dress and
Let me pause this real because I wanted to share it with y'all. This is Phaedra was on Extra, and this clip is from Reality Chat. Hold on.
About Britt, she skipped the reunion. What can you tell us about this?
well, I expected her to be there. She picked up her dress and I know she got a manicure and pedicure in preparation for the reunion. So I was utterly shocked when I found out she wasn't there. I had no idea she wasn't coming. So it was a huge shock to me.
And yeah, have you been in touch with her at all since then?
I had sent her a wonderfully gorgeous bouquet of flowers before the reunion, the day before, just to encourage her. And she had had a death in her family. So she sent me a text and, that's about the extent of it. She, thanking me for the flowers. And I just, wish her the best of luck.
But you haven't communicated at all since?
Well, I mean, yes, we're still in a good place.
Okay.
That's not what she asked you.
And what about Kenya being disinvited? What can you tell us about that?
Well, I don't know because the whole Kenya scenario happened well before I returned. And so I can't speak on it because I have no information on it.
Were you expecting her to be there?
I was only there for 10 days. So, the network obviously makes their decision. So I was just happy to be there.
Yeah. Are there any other surprises we'll see at the reunion?
Oh, there will be quite a few surprises and a lot of secrets revealed. So it's definitely a got you moment for a few of our housewives.
How dramatic does it get?
It's very dramatic, but most reunions are dramatic. You know, everyone's dressed in absolutely perfect clothes, but perfection, yes, perfection with a purpose, because it definitely, the peaches will be turning.
I like that. We see you next season.
You will definitely see me next season. You know, I was only on 10 days working this season, so I'm coming back ready to have some Housewives fun.
Let's talk about Britt. She skipped the reunion. What can you tell us?
So that's interesting. She says she's coming back, season 17, because she was only here for 10 days. We knew it was not a long time, but I guess I didn't realize it was just 10 days. She said her and Britt were in contact. Then she said she sent her a bouquet. You know, before the reunion, she knew that she got a manicure and a pedicure for the reunion. Then she was shocked to find out she wasn't there. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Then I was sleeping in my car earlier. I got to stop doing that. Then she also said that Britt thanked her for the bouquet, and then that was kind of it. But then she says we're in a good place. So it's like all of that could be true, but the way Phaedra packages it together, it's like I don't ever remember her answering something straight on. I mean, I guess she did when she said, "Were you surprised about her being at the reunion?" I guess, but I don't know, child. Anyway, so Britt was preparing to go to the reunion. Which, side note, we have learned that Britt actually did not file a $20 million lawsuit. It's like an intent. Let's get into, because I was going to talk about that with y'all anyway in another video. So let's go ahead. Since we're on the subject of Britt, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's see what Giorgio has to say about this. Shout out to my boo Giorgio says. Let's get into this.
Talk about what Britt Edie filed, because it was not an actual $20 million lawsuit. But her comms person Shirley was excited to shop this around as clickbait, where USA Today even wrote Real Housewives of Atlanta star Britt Edie sues Bravo over explicit photo. But this one was the last straw for me, because I'm seeing this take off a little bit, where Radar Online is now insinuating that because of this $20 million lawsuit, that now the franchise is going to go away completely, because Bravo and NBC are shaking in their boots because Britt Edie filed this lawsuit. What Britt Edie filed on June 5th was a summons with notice, not a full lawsuit. There's no index number on the summons with notice, and the case status is
Just so y'all know, in his comments, he did say correction. There is an index number now, but that doesn't change anything. So she does, in fact, have an index number.
RJI, which essentially means no judge has been assigned, there's been no serving of the defendants, and there's been no actual complaint on record. Simply put, it's not yet active in the court system because Britt has not taken the follow-up steps in getting those defendants served. She's got to actually file those things and pay for that and go through those motions, but it hasn't happened. And as of 5 minutes ago, there's been no movement since she's filed that summons with notice. Now, Britt wants $20 million and,
mind you, this was 1 day ago.
Episode 5 of this current season 16 retracted because she's saying that they basically implied that she was on those graphic poster images that Kenya displayed at her hair salon opening. But here's the thing, Bravo and the production company were very, very strategic in how they edited this episode, because all we saw in terms of a poster board was the first one that said, "Who is this hoe?" And it was just simply blurred out pictures of what I would assume is Britt Edie. But after that, it was very clear that when this statement came up and they were not going to show any more poster boards, even blurred out, Bravo decided they were going to step far away from it by putting up this disclaimer on episode 5 saying, due to the graphic nature of these photographs, Bravo has chosen not to exhibit them. Britt Eadie's name is not mentioned in here. There is no implication that they're saying, oh, that is who it was in those graphic photos. They just didn't want any part of any of the graphic nature of the photos. Now let's get to the sexual harassment claim that she's alleging, as well as the hostile work environment part. Because in episode 14, titled Chapter 2, Renew, at the very end, where Shamia is having a very emotional moment after she finds out some bad news about her daughter, you make the moment all about yourself. And you continue to make it about yourself by willingly taking off your dress on camera in front of all.
Mind you, remember, we talked about this. Don Juan said that she got naked. And have y'all, I'm not going to play it here, but have y'all seen the clip on Twitter? Somebody tagged me in it. Shout out to you, girl. And yeah, she not only showed her boob shot, she pulled everything down. Kitty cat and all was on display, that very day, very day.
All the production and audio people in front of all of the cast members, including a crying Shamia, and went into full-on showgirls moment. I mean, this screams Nomi Malone. So are you going to be able to prove that production coerced you into a hostile work environment where you had to do what you did? Bottom line, guys, there's no official lawsuit. There's no legal crisis. And surely Bravo's weathered much heavier storms, so I do not believe anything about this clickbait headline. So, smells like Timu Minaj just wants a quick little payout. But what do you guys think? Okay, let's actually...
Not Timu Minaj. All right, y'all, so she does have an index number. However, it's technically not a lawsuit yet, and she has a certain amount of days. Do y'all think she did it to see if maybe there comes a settlement, like they say, okay, we see what your intent is. Let's sit down, talk, and come up with a number. I'm thinking that's what she's hoping for. We talked about when we found out, when we were, the video with Don Juan talking about it. And I wondered, how would that affect her case? And Georgia made a good point. You're saying it was Bravo created a hostile work environment for you, knowing that it wasn't you, blah, blah, blah. But then you turn around and get naked, like full, frontal and back. Put your behind on the island. It's interesting that they cut it out of the United States airing, but not of the other airing, like outside of the US. Was that Hey You? I wonder if anybody has seen the clip and knows, was that Hey You that it was on? If you haven't seen the clip, y'all, it is on at Twitter. Lord, I almost slipped. It's on Twitter. Naked as you please. So have y'all ever watched The Women of Brewster Place? Y'all, that was my movie. Yeah, Brit was naked as you please, y'all. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get into this last story for this video. Miss Alexia, the Real Housewives of Miami, is back. I have heard it was so good, y'all. I've been working so much that I missed the first 2 episodes, but I will be catching up with them this week and giving y'all a 2-episode 1, 2, 3. I promise that, because I love Miami. Do y'all love Miami? I know the ratings for the first episode didn't reflect it, but also there hadn't been a lot of like Miami's coming, bring the heat. There hadn't been a lot of that, which I'm surprised about. Like summer is coming and so is Miami or something. Like there hasn't been a lot of that. But my girl Gertie, I'm looking forward to seeing her. For those of y'all that don't know, Gertie was on the podcast it's either earlier this year or maybe the end of last year. So go check it out. The visual is on the YouTube, and then the podcast, the audio, is wherever you find your podcast. But Alexia is talking about Todd, him filing, and about I keep wanting to call that girl Alexandria, mixing up Alexis and Audriana's name, but she's talking about Audriana as well. She sat down with virtual reality from page 6. Let's get into some of the things that she had to say.
Does he regret filing for divorce?
We've had the conversation that he said, like, I know I'm gonna regret it someday.
Okay.
But we can always get married again.
That's true.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also, and I have like a smaller ceremony because I know you want like.
They asked her, has he said he regretted filing for divorce? She said they've had that conversation, and he said one day he might, which means he does not now.
Outside of the TV and everything
Yeah.
like that, just enjoying
Yeah,
it.
you guys probably won't even know.
That's I like you. Yeah,
I
you
kind
were
of like
thinking,
that.
yeah.
A little
Right.
secret wedding.
And I understand why he might be touch and go with the show because while you do have a lot of supporters on the show and your girls have your back, of course there's Adriana, who is not always the number one cheerleader for Alexia.
Right. Or for anyone
or-
for that matter. And you'll see that this season.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like she's by your side and has your back when you're down, like her. But when you're up and happy and shining, she wants to bring you down. So yeah, so I know that about her. It's a mixture of everything. It's like jealousy and envious. This season you'll be pleasantly surprised that she's nice to me, and because she knows that I'm down. So at least she has that, and that she was that. But she did cause a lot of problems. Obviously, it was so easy to say something like that, like, oh, Todd and Alexia are having marital problems because he didn't show up at the party.
Yeah.
So that was something that was easy to kind of like, if you have a little bit of psychology, to say something like that.
But obviously you were, right?
But you're watching.
Oh, child, not Team Mom, honey. But there was something going on. So maybe Alexia wasn't lying about what she had heard with Todd on Todd's end having an issue, because look what happened. He filed for divorce. So I sprung it on her, allegedly. Did y'all see Todd's daughter talking? I had that. Hold on. She was on TikTok or on something. Let's see. Oh, she says her handle is at Kayla Dree. She made a statement suggesting that Todd and Alexia are just friends despite their ongoing legal separations and discussions about their relationship. So she was basically like, ain't no chance of them getting back together. They are just friends. So don't even think about it. And she basically said people are like blaming her dad, and she doesn't like that. Like how she was saying, like, reality TV is not real. Like they were having real nice moments, but then they would kind of want them to drum up something. And the argument between Todd and Peter, there was much more to that and how it got to that point, but they cut that part out and just showed her dad going in. That's what she said. I mean, that is her dad, so of course she's going to defend her dad. And the reality of it is, we weren't there. We don't know. By this point, we kind of know how reality TV works. So Alexia said there's a chance they can get married again. Child, his daughter said, I don't think so. Now, there's a part of me that's like, even as adult children, parents don't always share everything with you. Then there's the other part of me that's like, as adult children, sometimes parents do share things with you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there is something that she knows. The fact that they still meet up and all of that, there were rumors that it was the show is why they were breaking up. He wasn't okay with the show, but Alexia wants to be on the show. So at that point, you are at a stalemate. If she's like, I'm doing the show. I've been waiting how many years now? I'm doing the show. And he's like, well, all right. Then I wonder why he doesn't want to do the show. Y'all remember when he sent the flowers and chocolate to Dr. Nicole's husband, Anthony, and did this long, like 7-minute apology? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Are y'all watching Miami? Have y'all watched Miami? What did y'all think about the first 2 episodes? If you want to tell me your thoughts and you think it's a spoiler, spoil it. I am a person that I don't mind spoilers because there's a part of me that is like, okay, I can relax and watch knowing how it's going to end already. I could speak to something else totally with my personality, but I do like knowing The ending. So if you want to share your thoughts, but afraid you're going to spoil it, you're not. So share them. All right, y'all, let me get back out on this road. Let me know what y'all think again about Alexia and Todd of it all, Alexa and Adriana. What do y'all think about Adriana? There's a part of me that likes her, and I have not seen the first two episodes. Let me just say that, right? So I'm gonna go by the past. There's a part of me that likes her, and there's a part of me that is like, Adriana, just stop. But so y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Brit and finding out that she hasn't officially filed a $20 million lawsuit. Oh, and I forgot with the 20 million, did y'all catch when he basically, if she does go through with the lawsuit and they serve them and they don't show up, she wants a 20 million default judgment to be given to her. So if they do go through the process, Bravo doesn't show up, child, that is no chance of that happening. They're showing up. To be clear, let me know what y'all think about Phaedra talking about she will be back, honey, for season 17, which makes me think there clearly has been conversations about a season 17. I don't think she would just be saying that, but who knows? And y'all let me know what y'all think about Miss Stacey Rusch and her weed line, honey. All right, if any of y'all by chance went to the launch, let me know. Let me know how it was. I will talk to y'all later. Love y'all. And again, thank y'all so much. Like, comment, subscribe, drink your water, get your money, and eat a piece of fruit.